We've all been in this state, consuming, procrastinating, and even rotting. All your dreams and goals are slipping further and further away. You got stuck in the delusive nets of modern technology. But what if I tell you there is one simple step that takes you out of your current swamp and to a new you? It's difficult. It would probably be the most difficult thing, but you just need to start. Gather all your willpower and start. If you don't know where to start, I have a small exercise for you. Put away your phone. Take a piece of paper, write down your goal or a dream. Then the smallest, easiest step that you can do towards your goal. Something that will take from 2 to 5 minutes to do. When finished, do nothing for 5 minutes. Allow yourself to be bored, no phone. And then start. 2 to 5 minutes can be enough. For some people, these 5 minutes will transform into 10 or 20 minutes, which is even better. But of course, it all doesn't end here. To progress further, you need to make a small step, small start every day. Hey, I hope you did the exercise that I suggested. In the second part of the video, I want to show you some of my journeys with learning Portuguese and the recent pet project, to show you by example some of my small starts that I did along the way, and hopefully inspire you to do your stuff and to do more stuff, and to make the narration more exciting. I even prepared some props. So let's go. Okay, I think this is a great exercise to see your successes and results, and maybe you can do something like this for you. Maybe not as fancy as I started. You can use some whiteboarding apps, maybe Figma, maybe Miro, maybe others. But yeah, I think that's a great exercise. So let's start. It all started when I moved to Portugal, Lisbon, because of the war in Ukraine in 2022. For the rest of the year I did nothing with regards to Portuguese language. There were some objective reasons, but mostly it was just procrastination. New Year came, and I think it was one of my New Year resolutions to finally start learning the language. My first small start was to research what apps are available. At this point I discovered that there is Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese, which are much more different than British and American English. Well, at least I think. And to my disappointment, a lot of apps, including probably the most famous one, Duolingo, were in Brazilian Portuguese. So my next small step was to find a good app with European Portuguese. I found Drops and I committed to it. 15 to 20 minutes of practice every day in the morning. My first start and my first success. Then, after a while, Drops wasn't enough. It's more of a vocabulary app, and I needed writing, grammar, and listening. After another extensive research, I found Practice Portuguese, the app for learning specifically European Portuguese. It had everything I needed. The only thing it lacked probably was some kind of a speaking community. So I committed to learn 30 minutes every day in the morning. It was my second start, and a bit bigger this time. After some time I was able to maintain simple conversations. I even spoke Portuguese in governmental institutions. By the way, in Portugal, majority of people can speak English pretty good, but not where you need it. So in bureaucracy, my knowledge was very valuable. But I had a problem. Even though the app was good, it still wasn't enough to be involved in a normal conversation with locals. Because Portuguese language is phonologically opaque language, which means that many vowels are reduced or omitted and certain consonants disappear or soften. So it's difficult to understand this language when you hear it. Even though I had some local friends, my level still wasn't enough to practice with them. I needed to improve my understanding games, so my next start was to find a tutor. I knew that Preply would be the platform of my choice because I used it previously. I started with research of tutors, picked one for the test lesson, and then committed to 2 lessons every week. And here's where things got more interesting. My tutor helped me a lot. I started speaking more, I started understanding locals more, but also the more you learn something, the more you understand that you don't know anything. 2 lessons a week wasn't enough, so I started finding some ways how to improve. Basically, I started using ChatGPT as a tutor to explain me grammar, to give me more grammar exercises and explain vocabulary. I created custom GPT. At first it did some explanations, then I added more and more functions to it. In December my tutor took pause from teaching due to the maternity leave, and I was looking for new ways to challenge myself. And I found books. I think books are the perfect way to understand how language works at scale. You learn so much: new vocabulary, new structures, idiomatic expressions, new grammar. So again, I was ready to start. My colleague helped me to pick a book. I started reading and digesting 2 pages every day, and then repeat what I've learned also every day for at least 10 minutes. Small steps, small starts. However, it was very cumbersome because I chose to read a physical book and I needed to type things every time into translator or into my GPT and then also put it into flashcard set. It was very annoying. And this brought me to an idea of automating this process, an app. But how do I do that? So it was my next small start. I wanted to learn how to do a mobile app. And I started doing it from 10 to 30 minutes every day. So I allocated time and was committed to it. I did a lot of stuff. Research about frameworks, research about cross-platform frameworks, then learning React, learning React Native, learning Expo, researching UI frameworks, then learning Tamagui, one of the UI frameworks that I picked. And also in parallel I did sketches, prototyped in Figma, created my first home screen, created 2 other screens that needed for the flow, and then the integration with OpenAI. Bit by bit I had it working. I can even show you it right now. It's a rough prototype, but it's here and it's working. And it took me only 10 to 30 minutes every day, and probably overall I spent like 2 weeks on it. So I hope you liked these fancy infographics that I did. I wanted to do it a bit more unusual, to grab your attention. I hope I did it, and I hope it was informative. But as Bill Gates said, that most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And I think we can go a level lower, and most people overestimate what they can do in 30 minutes, but underestimate what they can do in a week, in a month, or in a year, because those periods, they consist of small chunks, like even 10 minutes, 30 minutes is enough, like consistently, to achieve something. Yeah, I hope this video helped you and motivated you a bit so that you can do your small starts, small steps every week. And yeah, I think even 1 minute is enough, 2 minutes is enough. Just start. 10 minutes every day, it's not that difficult. Yeah, and you should start. So if you liked this video, give this video a like, subscribe, and more videos are coming, because I like creating content, and in general I like creating. Probably it's not as good right now, but we need to start. We need to keep making steps, and hopefully in 10 videos I'll be better, and I'll be at a level that I imagine like a great YouTuber. So thank you, and see you next time. Ciao.